What does God look like? What do you see?
We're solar-powered biological AI.
Wait, what?
These ancient adversarial entities, I think it's the very same ones that rebelled against God and were cast out.
They were sent here to guide us in antiquity, and they took advantage of that and just masqueraded as gods. There we go again. I mute myself every time, guys. I have to do something about that. What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the Greypilled Podcast. I am your host, Jules, your humble host, coming at you live from the depths of Mississippi. Everybody, it's 10:15 at night. It's a Sunday night. You guys are getting a special episode tonight. I'm going to be talking about a few things. I haven't really went live this week. I don't think I've been live at all. We did Already Dead Tuesday, and William Ramsey's coming on next Tuesday. He's also coming on my podcast next Saturday. I got to get back to him with a time, and I think I'm having like Dustin Nemos on Friday, perhaps. See, I don't know. I may move it to Thursday because I know Ass Butt and Toad are doing their thing, which is going to be beautiful. So we'll have to see about that. But how is everybody doing? Did everybody have a good weekend? Hope everybody had a good weekend. It was laid back here. It kind of rained all weekend. So I just kind of cleaned the house. And hey, KTZ, what's up? Got a few people here. Scott, Rye or Die, Meat Cavern. What's up, Will? Anna Banana, it's good to see you, Anna. Doc Shelley, Carl, it's good to see you, brother. I hope you don't mind. I did see me and Carl know each other. I could call him by his screen name, his name on there, but I don't know. I'm not really doxing him. It's not doxing if it's not their last name, right? Pretty sure that's how it goes. Probably got some more people going to be filing in, but yeah, I'm off work tomorrow, so. Gotta knock get a few birds stoned at once, right? Knock out a few birds with one stone. So it's good. It feels good to accomplish shit and take care of stuff you know you're gonna have to do eventually. So it's good to get all that done in one day. But yeah, guys. Yeah, did an episode yesterday with Chris from Forbidden Knowledge News. It was a banger. It was a shorter one, but he is going to be coming back on soon. We're going to be doing a swap cast again soon. Hopefully, he's awesome, man. These stories he had told about his past psychedelic experiences, because he doesn't do it anymore. He doesn't microdose, or I don't know if you call that microdosing, man. He was diving deep in there, head fucking first, and that's on Patreon. So I'll be dropping that later this week. Meat Cavern said dox. We're not doxing anybody, Meat Cavern. Nancy's here. Hey, Nancy. Dude, y'all were talking to my wife on the Discord last night, and I straight fucking fell asleep on y'all's asses. Should that count as like Nephilim Death Squad Patreon content, or like Grey-pilled Patreon content? I feel like I don't know. Because it's on their server, you know. I'll just give it to them. Whatever, it can be their content. You can come, go to Nephilim Death Squad, go to their Patreon and get the Discord link, and you can hang out with me. And Toad's in there now too. I think I started my own too. So if you're a Patreon member of mine, you can also come in my Discord server. Oh, fuck, that sounded real bad. Don't come in anything. You can come hang out and kick it with us in the Discord server. Anyway, but yeah. Let's see if I got anything else coming up. Brandon Kroll's going to be coming back on. Me and Troubles Garcia got something in the works. Me and Tomcat are going to try and get together these next couple weeks. I go on vacation the second week of March. So I'm going up to Knoxville to see my mom and my grandmother. And so I guess I could leave that Sunday. So I may try and do something that Saturday. And then next Saturday, we have a big sound science. So, yeah. Probably got a couple more people I'm trying to get on the show. Top Lobster messaged me and asked if I could come back on. And I'm just like, hey, just got to get a fucking another day off work. But sure I could work it out. Yeah, Nancy, you were on the sauce last night. You was drinking wine. I'm having a few beers tonight. It's okay. I haven't drank all weekend, so been slowing down on that. That's always a good thing. But yeah, guys. So, oh my God, JC, dude, it's so awesome to kick it with JC and like hear how he sounds. I mean, he sounds normal, but it's so weird when like you've been talking to somebody on, talking to people on the internet through a chat or through a group, like direct message or whatever. It's just, it's nice. It's nice to know that he's real and he's not like a black trans woman or a fucking fed or something. Yeah, we're going to be talking about a couple things tonight. It's kind of just a little like clusterfuck episode that I threw some shit together last minute. Well, one last thing, guys. If you want to support the show, like I said, you can go to Patreon, patreon.com/greypilledpodcast. Got a few tiers in there. Let me change this because there is no goal tonight. But I was going to say, if you get something out of this show, if you like my content, if you want to support the show in other ways, you can through Rumble Rants as well as PayPal and Cash App. So, all right, here. I'm going to go ahead and start talking about some of this stuff soon because I actually have a lot of stuff to talk to y'all about. I mean, I guess I don't know. You can't find the Saturn topic is completely different from the Phoenix, but we've been talking a lot about rebirth rituals and like these rebirth mystery schools and stuff, like from the Osirian ones to the Mithras. And the Phoenix is a direct representation of that. And so that's the one fucking chapter also in this Manly Palmer Hall book that, the occult symbolism of animals. Yeah, we're going back to it, guys. I know I said that we were done with it, but it's this final chapter. It's pretty interesting, man. So yeah, but we're going to talk about Saturn, obviously the symbolism with the planet and the black cube, as well as the deity, El. So, JC sounds too cool for us. Yes, he is, Scott. He was like, his voice is real calm and mellow, and he was there the whole time. He was letting us know, like, hey, stepped away for a minute, but I'm still here. It was, dude. Yeah, me and Scott have been talking all week. I've been at work, chatting it up with Scotty and X-Comer and Lucas Hard R and Eamon Rap. We were all kicking it the other night. So yeah, y'all hop on there probably during the day. I'll just fucking subliminal. It's good to see you, man. Yeah, so all the regulars are here, all my friends. All right. So let's put some fucking background music on, because this yeah. It's one thing that Connie has made me do. Kept me doing, like, putting background music on. I should do it more often. And when I do, it always sets a pretty good vibe. But I need to download some more AI elevator music. Or just make my own. That's too loud. Hold on, guys. So we're going to loop that. I don't need to tell you all about what I'm doing behind the scenes. Okay. So what were we doing? Back to this, right? The Phoenix. We're going to talk about the Phoenix first because I have some videos we're also going to watch. More so of Saturn. But this is just something that I kind of wanted to get out the way. I've been wanting to do it, and it's my fucking podcast, so I'm gonna do it, right? But I don't know if I should have the music playing in the background. I don't know. What do y'all think? I'm gonna bring that up. Excuse me. Okay. This song's good. Is it too loud? Oh, shout out to Esoteric Eddie. I was going to say, I ordered his book, The Lucifer Mysteries Revealed. And so far, so good, man. Shit goes hard. He puts his full name on there like a fucking boss. Eduardo Fidencio Cano. Fuck yeah. Shout out Eddie. He's having a baby. He's having a fucking baby, dude. Congrats, Eddie. Congrats, brother. Also, Tomcat having a baby. It's awesome. It's cool when your homies start having babies. Okay. So yeah, no, we're gonna introduce the Phoenix with this little video. It's just a little short. Because I'm gonna read out this book for y'all. You get to hear my voice. I get to read to you. I'm a good reader. I think. If my voice fucking sucks, then just let me know. And maybe we can find something like a video, another video on it. So we're gonna watch this. Kenny G, you're gonna get out of here for a minute. And this guy's gonna get fucked. Okay. Too many tabs open.
The phoenix is a mythical bird known for its cycle of death and rebirth, found in Egyptian, Greek, and Chinese legends. It was said to live 500 years, radiating with fiery red and golden feathers. As its life neared its end, the phoenix built a nest of rare spices, myrrh, cinnamon.
Didn't mention the fucking purple, what is it, plumage that it has along its backside as well. So maybe that's like it's a well-known symbol for alchemy, right? The transmute, like it, I guess, going from its original colors to gold, as well as the death and rebirth. Because when it's reborn inside of a nest of frankincense and myrrh. Yeah. And it's probably like 95% symbolic, right? Like unless phoenixes actually existed. Now, I'm fucking insane, so I would believe that phoenixes were real. I'm sure they caught one on camera. You guys want to try and find a phoenix on camera? We can debunk it.
And frankincense.
Debunk.
With the first rays of the sun, it set itself on fire, turning into ashes. But from those very ashes, a new phoenix emerged.
Who's the K2 king?
Stronger than before. The young phoenix carried the remains.
Yeah, is that a Snape AI voice, Scott?
Of the sun god,
you would think.
Honoring the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth.
There we go.
This powerful legend symbolizes hope, resilience, and transformation, reminding us that even in the darkest moments, a new beginning can rise from the ashes.
Didn't Machine Gun Kelly say some gay shit like that? Trying to be all esoteric? You fag. And yeah, y'all have told me before that I look like Machine Gun Kelly. Fuck you. I'm not with it. Me and my significant other don't drink each other's blood in rituals, right? Some weird shit, dude. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about the Phoenix. What's that Harry Potter one called? What's the Harry Potter movie with the Phoenix? Order of the Phoenix. Yeah. Order of the Phoenix. So, you see it a lot, right? So, we're going to read what this guy named Clement said. He is one of the ante-Nicene fathers. In the first century, he describes the peculiar nature and habits of the phoenix. So he says, there is a certain bird which is called a phoenix. This is the only one of its kind that lives 500 years. And when the time of its dissolution draws near that it must die, it builds itself a nest of frankincense and myrrh and other spices. There you go. Subliminal with the spice pun. So it builds itself a nest of frankincense and myrrh and other spices, into which, when the time is fulfilled, it enters and dies. But as the flesh decays, a certain kind of worm
chat as well. Also remind you guys, you can do Rumble rants on my stuff. I am demonetized on YouTube, but this also goes out to Austin's channel. So any of you guys listening, watching on Austin's channel, the Underclass Podcast, yeah, pretty good deal. $2. You can hop on the stream. But yeah, all right. Let's you're talking about, Jews. Worm pill.
and it's funny because my cat, they're connected, right?
Yeah,
my
it's cats. The cats is a big part of it.
Must have heard that I was talking about the worms because you know about the toxoplasmosis, right?
I love you, my little worm.
You're just a little wormy girl right here, right? It's good. It's getting in my brain.
I love that worm, that theory, because you're like, I don't have any sort of deep parasitical knowledge of like how that stuff works, but I'm like, checks out to me.
It makes sense. It's like extra dimensional. I think there's a spiritual component to that. And the more that I've done, I wrote a song about it, right?
Worms in our butts.
Oh, you did a worm pill song, dude?
Yeah.
Hey, dude, Jules knows me, man.
You got a real fan, man.
And this is where like not doing gay stuff comes from too, because it's like the worms spread better through fecal matter and like blood and like
pedophilia, because it actually it can take over children easily.
Yeah,
right.
And it gets them earlier,
and so that it makes you crave children. Is basically what it is.
I had to. That shout out Tim Tuttle. Does he have a Rumble? I feel like he only watches when we stream to YouTube. I think he has a Rumble. Yeah. So you see the worm being talked about, right? And the worm has been, I talked about this yesterday with Chris. The worm has been interpreted as the serpent, right? And that goes back to the egg. Like we get into the egg and, don't get Raven into the egg because he'll fucking post about it for 2-3 weeks straight. But there's nothing wrong with that. I had some eggs yesterday. So it doesn't say so it just says it decays as a kind of worm is produced. Did the phoenix have a parasite? I don't know. Is that what they're trying to explain? Or is that symbolic, the worm being, I don't know, symbolic of the serpent being like its soul, perhaps? I don't know. Doesn't really go into what this guy says, but let's keep reading. Kind of worm was produced, which, being nourished by the juices of the dead bird, brings forth feathers. It's a worm, and then it grows feathers? Well, then, when it has acquired strength, it takes up that nest in which are the bones of its parent. And bearing these, it passes from the land of Arabia into Egypt to the city called Heliopolis. And in open day, flying in the sight of all men, it places them on the altar of the sun. And having done this, hastens back to its former abode. The priests then inspect the registers of the dates and find that it has returned exactly as the 500th year was completed. Okay, so there's probably some things in there that you guys didn't get. Not really me either. So we're going to read a little bit more into it because we're here to learn, right? Because I read this chapter, but it's been a while. And this is the one chapter I didn't really take notes on. Like, I have pages of notes on the rest of this book. Because I read all of it, but there was so much in here, I couldn't go through all of the animals. Oh, man. Those were fun episodes. I need to do more of like the esoteric book reviews. I think I should. Let me know if you guys want me to do that. Although admitting that he had not seen the phoenix bird, there being only one alive at a time. So let's not see, like, I don't know. There's Christ symbolism in there, right? With the frankincense and myrrh. And then you have, like, I don't know if there's something to the 500-year thing. You guys tell me if you find something on that. They tell a story of what this bird does, which does not seem to me to be credible, that he comes all the way from Arabia and brings the parent bird all plastered with myrrh to the temple of the sun, and there buries the body in order to bring him, they say. He first forms a ball of myrrh as big as he finds that he can carry. Then he hollows out the ball and puts his parent inside. It's fucking weird. After which he covers over the opening with fresh myrrh, and the ball is then of exactly the same weight as at first. Where the fuck was this little worm getting all this myrrh, bro? Or like this phoenix, this little like bird, like this little like, I don't know. So he brings it to Egypt. I'm sure it's all symbolic. He brings it to Egypt, plastered over, as I have said, and deposits it in the temple of the sun. Such is the story they tell of the doings of this bird. So I guess a lot of, this guy was a Nicene father of the Nicene Council. So even in the church, they were talking about the phoenix. Probably a lot more to it. Meat Cavern says, the phoenix is the worm with wings. Probably, dude. Let me see hold on. When did you get the worm waiting music? Oh, speaking of music, let's go back to this shit. We'll put a different, well, fuck it, whatever. Let's just do this one. It's a good tempo. What did Meat Cavern say? He said something that caught my eye. Yeah, dude. Nice table. Well, thank you, Meat Cavern. It's a good table. It's better than Connie's. I fucking tell you that right now. Let's see. You said something about Machine Gun Kelly. Oh no, I lost it. But I guess you're the one that's always said. I don't know. Maybe I do when I have like my tank top on. Fuck you. No. Oh no. Son, get offline. Jesus. This fucking kid. What's up, buddy? You go to bed or don't watch this. Don't watch this. He won't watch it. He's a good kid. I told him he could come on and say, hey, Scott's over here calling me gay. All right. So, both Herodotus and Pliny noted that general resemblance in shape between the phoenix and the eagle, which y'all should consider. For it is reasonably certain that the modern-day Masonic eagle was originally a phoenix. The body of the phoenix is described as having been covered with glossy purple feathers, while its long tail feathers were alternately blue and red. See, I have a pretty good, a pretty good example of what one looked like. Let me pull this up. Need to learn OBS. That's what I need to do, guys. Need to get on that. So this is a pretty good example. As you see, the feathers are mostly purple. I guess towards the end of its life, maybe it turns gold. Maybe its front side is gold, and it's, you know, appears out of the fire. It's born. Well, I guess that's it dying, right? Talked about it dying and burning up, and then out of the ashes rises again. So, okay, let's read a little bit more on this, because this book's not long at all, and I only have 2 pages to read, and I'm not going to read every word. So, where were we? The colors: glossy purple feathers, while its long tail feathers were alternately blue and red. Its head was light in color, and about its neck was a circlet of golden plumage. There you go. At the back of its head, the phoenix had a peculiar tuft of feathers. Okay, so it was regarded as as sacred to the sun, and the length of its life being 500. It says right here 500 to 1,000 years. So it was taken as a standard for measuring the motion of the heavenly bodies. Of course. For the bird is described as using springs of acacia in the manufacture of its nest. So it makes it out of the acacia tree. Is that in the Bible at all? And then frankincense and myrrh? I don't know. Is the acacia tree in the Bible, guys? No, there's that band, the Acacia Strain. Scott, was that you who knew they were? They're fucking sick. I remember jamming them in high school. They were good for like a metal band. So the phoenix, which is the mythological Persian rock, is also the name of a southern constellation. And therefore it has both an astronomical and an astrological significance. The phoenix was the swan of the Greeks, the eagle of the Romans, and the peacock of the Far East. Wow. I know a little bit about the peacock, but not the swan. You look into the swan. I'm going to get this guy out of here. I'm terrified of birds. Like, fucking terrified. We're going to read a little bit more. Like I said, only have a couple pages. We're going to get into Saturn here in a minute and watch this video. So, let's see. Medieval Hermeticists regarded the phoenix as a symbol of the accomplishment of alchemical transmutation. Here we go. A process equivalent to human regeneration. The name Phoenix was also given to one of the sacred alchemical of this. Okay, the name Phoenix was also given to one of the secret alchemical formulas, the familiar pelican of the Rose Croix degree, feeding its young. So it. Okay, wait a minute. I'm sure this may be a fucking typo in the book or something. Or maybe I'm reading the sentence wrong. The name Phoenix was also given to one of the secret alchemical formulas. Okay. The familiar pelican of the Rose Croix degree, that's like the Rosicrucians, feeding its young from its own breast, is in reality a phoenix, a fact which can be confirmed by the examination of the head of the bird. The ungainly lower part of the pelican's beak, oh shit, dude, is entirely missing, the head of the phoenix being far more like that of an eagle than that of a pelican. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, that looks like the silhouette of an eagle, even though you can see maybe a little shaded a little darker, but it looks just like it. And when you see that bird in all the symbolism, it's never really in color, right? On the seal of our dollar and all that shit. So, let's read a little bit more of this. In the mysteries, it was customary to refer to it. In the mysteries, it was customary to refer to initiates as phoenixes or men who had been born again. After 9 degrees, Okay, so after 9 degrees in the lodge, in the womb of the mysteries, was born into a consciousness of the spiritual world. This is the mystery of initiation to which Christ referred when he said, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. Wow. The phoenix is a fitting symbol of the spiritual truth. So that's cool. Told y'all there was relation to a lot of Christ symbolism, and that all of this stuff is usually tied into each other. I don't really see any negative representations of the phoenix. He's not out there killing his children like this guy we're about to talk about, eating his kids, which I think is probably completely symbolic as well, but maybe not. Maybe not. So, the hand of the mysteries controlled in the establishment of the new government. For the signature of the mysteries may still be seen on the Great Seal of the United States of America. The American eagle upon the Great Seal is but a conventionalized phoenix. So yeah, I mean, there's really the eagle of Napoleon and Caesar and the zodiacal eagle of Scorpio are really phoenixes. For the latter bird, not the eagle, is the symbol of spiritual victory and achievement. Masonry will be in a position to solve many of the secrets of its esoteric doctrine when it realizes that both its single and double-headed eagles are phoenixes, and that to all initiates and philosophers, the phoenix is the symbol of the transmutation and regeneration of the creative energy, commonly called the accomplishment of the great work. There you go. The double-headed phoenix is the prototype of an androgynous man. Holy shit, guys. Oh, man. For according to the secret teachings, there will come a time when the human body will have 2 spinal cords, by means of which vibratory equilibrium will be maintained in the body. Androgynous? I don't know. What's up, Bobby? It's good to see you, man. Okay. So, and androgynous, is that like a tranny? Is that just gay? Is that gay? Not only were many of the founders of the United States government Masons, right, but they received aid from a secret and august body existing in Europe. The Great Seal is the signature of this exalted body. I thought that was interesting. Unseen and for the most part unknown. And the unfinished pyramid upon its reverse side is a trestle board setting forth symbolically the task to the accomplishment of which the United States government was dedicated from the day of its inception. Yeah, once they finished the pyramid, right? I mean, that was basically a good summary of what I've learned about the Phoenix from an esoteric point of view. I'm sure there's a lot more as far as magic that may go into it when you get into alchemy, right? And that was about an hour, so like 40 minutes talking about the Phoenix. Calling guy. The calling guy 5. Who's this guy? Hey, who's this guy? All right, no, Colin, you're going to get the fuck out. I got to kick this guy from the chat. I don't know what he's doing. Can I ban him? Should I ban him? You got to go, bro. You're being a faggot and spamming my Rumble chat. How do I fucking ban him? There's no ban button? He's muted. He's cooked. He's cooked. Meat cavern. Calling guy. We were talking about poop and alchemy. Don't bring politics up here. Well, not so much. Nancy, Nancy, are you a who is this fucking guy? Get the fuck out, dude. Yeah, it's a lot of that. Jesus, did he have another alt account? Nancy, get him. Actually, I don't know. Does he want to stay? Yo, this is great. Bro, you can't just come and just start spamming the chat. I don't know who this guy is. I've never seen him before. Yes, it is conspiracy bullshit, but it's a little more than that. No. I don't call in guy. Calling guy 10. Wait a minute, dude. Someone fucking with me right now? Is he going and changing his name? It's okay. Hey, bro, if you want to hang out, you're more than welcome. Just don't put all that fucking shit all in there. I didn't know what the fuck. I don't care about Trump and Musk and shit right now. Okay. Well, I don't know who this guy is. He can hang out if he wants. I'm sure I know Colin guy, actually. I heard feedback on my interface. That's great, because my phone's not even over here. Yes. Yes. Jim Jordan, wrestler, dick toucher. Yes. Yes, dude. Oh my God. Holy shit. Do any of you want to buy a bridge I have for sale? It's in Brooklyn. I'm good, bro. You can hang out if you want, though, man. You're welcome here. Well, we're all kind of schizophrenic, so. Okay. So now that Jim Jordan is here, Jim Jordan. GYM Lucas. Hey, Lucas. Good to see you. You have a real job? No, this is all I do. This is all I do, Jim Jordan. This is it. This is it, dude. No, I usually don't stream. I stream every other Sunday. I have a show I do every other Sunday. So, are you in Ohio? Yes. I'm in Ohio. Ohio. Yes, I'm in Ohio. No, I'm not. I'm in Indiana. Well, so there's people that think that I live in Oklahoma, Indiana, but I'm in Ohio. Yeah. So you know all about the Jim Jordan dick touching scandal. I don't know. No. Who the fuck is this guy? Dude, this is great. These questions are the first I've heard. Jim Jordan. Okay. All right. We've been derailed, guys. Oh, we weren't really talking about shit anyway. We discussed this alchemical phoenix for a little bit. Let's see. I got a Saturn video we're going to watch. Got some more shit to talk about. Saturn. And What time is it? I'll go for another hour, guys. Oh, we got a Rumble rant. Subliminal messenger. Stop that screen. We're going to bring this up. Subliminal. Thank you. $2 donation. Says, fuck Jim Jordan kid diddler. Okay. Well, Subliminal, we don't know that. He could be a good guy, right? I don't know him. Have y'all seen him before? Thank you, Subliminal, for the $2 donation. Have y'all seen him before? I haven't. Seems like a good guy. I like his name. He's got a couple phoenixes. You must have a lot of fucking myrrh sitting around your house then, dude. Because they keep dying. Well, I guess it's every 500 years. I was about to say, oh, actually, there can only be one alive at a time. So, I don't know. You may have some other bird disguised as a phoenix. But into Phoenix Suns. I know you like sports. That's great. We don't really talk about sports on this show. We've talked about Tennessee football when they won a couple games earlier this year, but we don't really talk about sports on this show. Hubert ain't smart enough to run 5 accounts. Oh, man. Yeah, somebody was saying that this is Q. I don't know. This has to be an alt. Has to be an alt. You have to already know me. But that's awesome, though. Hey, you had them set up one after the other. Yeah. This guy hijacked the show. This is great. You could pass for Steve Nash. Are you Steve Nash? Oh, man. So this is an NBA show. Yes. This is an NBA show. Talk about sports. Missy Kruger. He's talking about Jim Jordan, congressman, I think. Yeah. He's talking a lot. Why are you in the bedroom of a 10-year-old? Wait a minute. Who's in the fucking bedroom of a 10-year-old? Steve Nash? Who? Where is that 10-year-old kid? I don't have a 10-year-old kid. Not the fucking bedroom, motherfucker. I'm in a garage. You don't see? I'm in a garage. All right, Jim Jordan, pipe down. Well, that ain't your kitchen, right? I have no idea what that means. No idea what that means. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and watch this video. What's on your hat? Can't see the logo. It says Tower Gang, Jim Jordan. What is this show about, Gray? I'm confused. Oh man. Missy Kruger. It's about a lot. We just talked about the Phoenix for 30 minutes. The esoteric symbolism behind it. But we're about to talk about Saturn for a little bit. So but this show can go a lot of ways. There's a lot of things that can happen. So let's see. How amazing would it be if he's top? That's not Top Lobster. That's Jim Jordan. Is this show appropriate for kids? My show? Luke is laughing. Dude, no, my show is not appropriate for kids. I say faggot and fuck too much, and I shouldn't. But Scott says it's good for kids. Maybe Scott's kids. I think Scott lets his kids watch. He wanted to show off that logo. Who wanted to show off? Oh, Top Lobster would. I don't know. I don't know if Top will be up this late, right? Him and Raven go to bed pretty early. So we're going to watch this video. Jim Jordan, stick around. Yeah, Missy. Connie could come on and get wasted and cuss me out and crash out. A lot of stuff could happen. People like Jim Jordan come in. Anna Banana, you missed not much. Missed me talking about the Phoenix. It's okay. We're talking about Saturn for a little bit, guys.
A perfect hexagram at its north pole. What very few people know is that this hexagram has been known about by ancient people for as long.
Okay. So we all know about Saturn, right? The seventh planet from the sun, right? It's known for the black cube being representative of, the hexagram storm, hexagram, 6-pointed star. And we've talked about lately, the Star of David really being the hexagram of Solomon. And it's the thing that people need to accept. That's what it's always meant. It's what it was created to build Solomon's temple. And I think me and Assbutt, we're doing a Canaanite Pantheon show, as well as like a Goetia episode. I think we're going to do that together because I saw him talking about it on Horseshoes a couple weeks ago. And I like what he had to say, and I have some shit to say about it too. So, okay, let's watch this. There it is again. I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm going to go and
Long as history
see
has
if this
been
can help.
recorded,
If I can
who
help
did not have telescopes
turning the show up.
or
There
the
we go.
technology to
You see it.
anything
Y'all pay attention.
outside of the Earth's atmosphere besides the stars. That is quite the paradox. That's what's been on my mind lately about this subject. It is, number one, absolutely impossible for these people to have viewed Saturn, especially North Pole. Saturn being associated with the black cube, which has direct connection to the hexagon shape, which is a 2D format of the cube, proves to us without a doubt that these people over the centuries from all over the world understood that there was this anomaly at the peak of Saturn. This has led Saturn to be a leading role in astrology and mythology throughout the ages, and even to this day is part of our pop culture.
Okay.
So when
Let's
you go
back.
down the rabbit hole of has led Saturn to be a leading role in astrology and mythology throughout the ages.
Nowhere in the Bible or the Talmud is referenced as the Star of David. However, the Bible does references to be the Star of Remphan, right, belonging to Moloch. But yeah, obviously we know that everything, all these mystery schools stem from Kabbalah mysticism. So there's no surprise that the compass, the Freemasonic symbol is that congruent with the fucking sigil, the hexagram of Solomon, the hex of Solomon. That is what it is. And then you see it. This is Sumerian. There's the Muslim Hajj in Mecca. There's that. I have these pictures that I can pull up too. Oh, would you look at that? You can see it in the dollar bill as well. Let's continue this video.
And even to this day is part of our pop culture. So when you go down the rabbit hole of the Saturn mythology, you get into this Gnosticism where Saturn is considered a great teacher, but through suffering specifically. It's been associated with the bringer of light, Lucifer, the primordial star, or the original black star is what it was called. It's also been called the black cube. Of course, the cube representing that 2D format of it, the hexagon at the top. And the people who understood.
Right. So Lucifer, right? In my research and what I've heard, Lucifer lines up directly with Venus, with the morning star. And I'm sure this book that I'm reading will talk about that quite a lot. It was worshipped as like the morning star, right? And so I don't know about Saturn. I know well, there's some more stuff that we're going to talk about El and Cronus. And let's hear a little
that there was a hexagon at the North Pole of
Hear 'em
Saturn must have been either incredibly sophisticated technologically, which we're told is not so, or were able to somehow, with some extrasensory perception, understand the makeup of Saturn. So if Saturn is here to teach us through suffering, I suppose it's not necessarily an evil force, but there is a price to be paid. The mythology that ties to Gnosticism seems to point in the direction of a sort of demiurge, or in Latin, the demiurgos, which is basically a deity decided to create a universe of its own, therefore creating a flawed reality. Like if you were to create a video game and you get one of the zeros or ones wrong within the coding, the entire game will be flawed. And this is what seems to be, in a way, responsible for our messy physical reality. If this is so, is this something that is objectively real outside of us, or is it something that we project, or could it be a combination of both? Could it be that our reality is indeed a form of a syntax error that is somehow projected by Saturn as a being itself? And if so, does that mean that despite living within this flawed reality, we are still endowed with the divine spark? We seem to have God consciousness within animal bodies. So there seems to be a rift between the animal body and the God consciousness. Going back to the video game metaphor, even though the video game would be...
I think the animal body, I don't know. That's symbolic, right? Because a lot of these animals do, I mean, well, besides, there's a lot of phallic symbolism. We've talked about this with the goat and a bunch of other shit. We're not going to get into that. But yeah, they do represent certain parts of our body. That's why you see these hybrid creatures talked about, these chimera creatures with, you know, the feet of a bear and all that stuff, wings of an eagle. I think, yeah, it's all symbolic. So, or maybe physical. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know.
Flawed. There is still the spark of the original author's purpose within the characters of the game, limited to the five senses, the five physical senses that we perceive reality through, of which we know is very thin compared to the actual spectrum of reality. Could it be that what the Bible described as original sin, synonymous with this idea of living within a flawed reality? But how does that make us living in a form of a school? And if we are indeed part of this flawed reality, that means that anything that is not in alignment with divine source should be wiped clean and start over, maybe from scratch. But however, this hasn't happened as we still live in this reality. How can it be so that if we live in a flawed,
this guy's going deep
reality that doesn't actually represent true existence, how is it that we have been saved from being wiped clean from this hard drive? And that is where Christ seems to step into the picture. Now, this is quite a bit to unbox, and I realize that, but the evidence is absolutely staggering, whether it be mythological, scientific, or numerical. When you connect the dots, it seems as if there is something very strange and very otherworldly and divine happening. Does that beg the question, now that we have been saved, are we now responsible for transforming our reality into heaven, paradise? What can mathematics and astrology and religion and science tie together with this particular shape? This is Metatron's cube. As you can see, it is a hexagram, just like we have at the North Pole of Saturn. You can see that it can be viewed as a cube at the correct angle. That's why it's called Metatron's cube, a two-dimensional form of a cube. Thus, Saturn, throughout the ages, being called the black cube. So let's start off by talking about Saturn itself. We know that Saturn is in position 6, in according to the source of our solar system being the sun, and Earth is in position 3. We just recently rid ourselves of Pluto, which comes in at 9. It also has been
Pluto doesn't exist anymore, right?
Actually does have a magnetic field despite its size. Technically making it a planet, but I mean, how many times do we want to go back and forth with that? But that 3, 6, and 9, those numbers are interesting. Anyone who is a fan of Nikola Tesla, the Holy Trinity, or sacred geometry understands that
they're also manifestation numbers.
Ties with those 3 numbers in a very deep way. The connection between Saturn and the hexagonal black cube was not taken seriously by our modern age until 1981, when a scientific breakthrough changed everything. The Voyager sent back sharp images of
this fucking
anomaly
guy
at the North Pole of Saturn, confusing scientists and astronomers all over the world. They scrambled for explanations as to how this could happen on a dead
I don't know who
planet.
this guy is.
Something that is obviously not sentient, right? Things that are not alive. Bees create hexagons. We create hexagons, but of science, maybe turn to theology, religion, hermeticism, and mythology to better understand what's happening here. Is Saturn sentient? Is there a possibility that as above, so below, just like the bacteria in our gut is alive, what if we are the bacteria within the gut of our solar system? And Saturn is somehow responsible for our physical reality, that being our five senses. It seems as if the tetrahedron...
This fucking guy. I don't know, man, but a little bit about Saturn. Y'all, here, I'm gonna pull this up. We'll get back to this video. There's a few videos I wanted to watch, but I don't know how much time I have, so we may skip what this fucking guy is saying. I don't know. I'd rather get back to explaining, but maybe, I don't know, if y'all want to hear what he's saying, then we can. But I want to pull this up. So it's known that Saturn is also represented as Cronus. Cronus and what is that? That's terrible in me. Is that Greek? Subliminal? That's Roman, right? Saturn's Roman, Cronus is Greek, and El in the Canaanite Phoenician pantheon, which we'll be touching on soon, me and Asput. Hopefully soon. Hopefully we can do it this next week. Like I said, I have a few shows lined up this next week, so I'm sure we can fit it in there somewhere. Let me pull this up. I got a couple pictures that we're going to look at. Yeah, the myth of him eating his children, right? And there's some pretty interesting stuff. Hold on. Let me pull all this up so I can just click on it. I can have a little selection. Should have done this earlier. I haven't done something like this in a while, though. I don't know. Maybe I just I don't know, felt like I was wasting time. But I think people like these episodes. I'm pretty sure they do. I get good feedback on them. Not on Spotify. I don't post these to Spotify or YouTube, really. If I get shit off YouTube, then I don't, because a lot of people won't even see it. It'll put a copyright thing on it. Not a strike, but just I don't know. I'm sure it all adds up to a strike, so I try not to put those episodes. Just same with Sound Science. I don't put those on YouTube either. So people on YouTube, come over to Rumble if you want all my content. And there's some shit that I have made unlisted that I will be putting on Patreon. Some older live streams that I did that are I use a lot of colorful language, and I may have been drinking a little too much too, so I don't know. I just hello? All right. Well, also a few Schizo News networks that I'd never posted. That I didn't really. I don't think I streamed it on my channel when I did them. I'm putting those on Patreon as well. So I have some older episodes for y'all to check out that you can't find anywhere else. I don't know. There's a couple I did when Nate wasn't there, so I don't think anyone else streamed them. So, hello? What are you doing? Why are you like opening the door? Opening and closing it like a couple times. You should have just came in here. You're good, bro. He said, hey, love you. Good night. Kids. Yeah, meat cavern. Okay, so sorry, my son was coming to get something to drink. All right, I'm going to play. Well, no, we're going to pull up this picture, right? I pulled up a bunch of them. So, yeah, like I said, most of my content is on Rumble. If you're on Spotify, it's Spotify and YouTube. Spotify, I'd say, gets more than YouTube. I need to sign up for Spreaker. I need to do that shit. So this is Cronus eating his child. And this is just, this is fucking terrible, right? No parent should ever eat their children. You should love your children and raise them to be better than you. And so, obviously, this is more than likely symbolic. But why are there so many depictions of him doing this? And when you get into, if you watch Elohim etymology, you get into El Cronus and you hear about family members killing each other, these ancient entities, these ancient deities, when it talks about them basically being physically incarnated. And you have certain cults that worship some of these lesser deities, and they practice cannibalism, right? That comes from fucking Canaan. That comes the Canaanite worship of Baal, cannibal. Yeah, they would eat their children, I'm pretty sure. And that's where you had El. That's where you had Baal. That's where you had a lot of deities. Mott, Yam, Anat. Cronus is a faggot. Perhaps. Yes, Meat Cavern. Only you would know. All right. I'm not going to share this for too much longer. It's terrible, right? I'm going to look up here and see. Maybe we can see like the story of Cronus eating. I guess I'll be on here for a little longer, guys. If you want to donate to the show, you can go to Patreon, sign up over there. I got a few tiers. You get in where you fit in. Rumble Rants is a good way, as well as Cash App and PayPal. And I just now realized I never put my fucking overlay on. So that's great. I'm going to pull another picture up real fast. And look, there's even fucking statues of him eating his child. He's eating his child. Let me pull this up real fast. I should have done this earlier. Sometimes I just forget to put my overlay up, or even like, my little logo. Always forget. So let me go back down here. So yeah, and there's a few images of statues of Cronus. I guess it would be in Italy and Greece. It'd be the same, Cronus, Saturn, because that's who we're talking about, right, guys? Saturn is the same deity. So I'm going to pull this other picture. There's a few pictures we're just going to pull up before we get back to these videos. When you type in Saturn, this pops up. If you go to Google or you go image search, this pops up. What the fuck, right? So there is a deity in let's look this guy up. Let's look this guy up real fast. There's a deity in the Hindu pantheon that's equivalent to Saturn as well. Do all night. We'll meet Cavern. 8-hour stream. Funny, Nancy. That's funny. That's not happening tonight. I could go for a little longer. I don't know how much longer. So we can get into some other shit too. Or, send videos, whatever you want to do. Looks Indian. Yeah. This is, let's find out who this guy is. If someone wants to tell me, 48 people on X, what's up? Get in on the comment. Tell me who the fuck this motherfucker is. I'll find it. I'm sure it said on the image who he was, and I'm just gonna be fucking difficult and do this shit. Shani, the god of karma, justice, and time. Shani is one of the 9 heavenly objects in the Hindu astrology. Okay. There you go with 9, right? You see that in almost every single mythology as well. And does that tie into certain like cult groups like the Order of Nine Angles. I don't know. They have something to do. They have something to do with it. Divine personification of the planet Saturn in Hinduism, and is one of the 9 heavenly objects, Navagraha, in Hindu astrology. Okay, enough of the Hindu mythology. Me and Adrian, we're going to get into that on an episode. I don't want to dwell on it too much, though. Let's get back to Saturn. What picture do I have up? I can't see the screen. Yeah, okay, so the Hindu guy. He's got a pitchfork because Saturn is also equivalent with Satan. I'm going to say Samael is related to Mars. So, Nate, what's up, homie? Talking about Saturn here. We're looking at the Hindu equivalent to Saturn, Shani. I know Nate's probably talked about Saturn a few times. But this next picture, is you see the cube, the hexagram, the relation to the cube, and the worship through symbolism, right? Through sigils. Right there on his dick. And we have a fucking goat right there under him. The goat looks pretty happy. There's some farmer. I guess he stole the farmer's child and he is going to eat that child. But apparently this is Saturn. Look, he's blue. And, you look into the Norse mythologies, the blue frost giants. Is there something to it? Yeah, them motherfuckers would have to be all the way blue or white, like super, super white. But the goat, symbolic of the phallus, it's phallic, and the star is covering his phallus. So I find that interesting that a goat is there as well. And we also see the 6-point star in Judaism, right? You see that a lot. And most of them wear it around their neck, and it's a hex symbol. So Saturn symbol on the crotch. I was going to say, Nancy, do you see something that's on the star? I knew there was something else on there. I can't enlarge it. Yes, I can. That is it. Nancy. And what is he doing? Is he like kneeling down to Saturn and giving his son up? And his goat's just like, what's up? He's happy. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was a very interesting portrayal of Saturn. It's been a fun episode so far, guys. We talked about the Phoenix, the alchemical nature of the Phoenix. Something's going on with my screen. There we go. I was very, very big. That pick is gay. Olivia. What, of Saturn? Yeah, it's very gay. No, we were talking about all the symbology in the picture. I don't know if you heard. I found a lot of, Nate said, I found a lot of connections between Saturn, Cronus, and Yahweh. People got really mad about it. Yeah. That's a sore subject, man. Me and Ass Butt will be talking about that in next week or in a couple weeks. Just the Canaanite pantheon, right? Because it does say in there, son of El. So yeah, that's a Saturn symbol in astrology, Nancy. You're right. That was on his phallus. And so I am not whomever that is. Olivia is the calling guy. No, she's not. I don't know what happened to calling guy. Calling guy, you were okay. You kind of spammed the chat, but it's okay. So let's see. I'm going to play this video. Something that I saw that I wanted to watch. Kind of a cool aesthetic to it. I need to write that down, that I need to fucking hurry up and sign up for Spreaker. I heard they, I don't know, you can get ads on there, you get monetization easily, and apparently they pay you. I don't know. That'd be cool, right? So the Phoenician mythology, that's on page 77. What the fuck is going on? Yo, what did we talk about last Friday, guys? Fucking Semyaza, Crowley, the goat of Mendez, the number 77, the Dark Mother, Ishtar, the number 40. Guys, any coincidence that Saturn is being talked about on page 77 and whatever this is? Thus, Osiris is qualified inventor of the 3 letters in Israel, proclaimed as Saturn El, being the name of Bel Saturn, Asar, which is Osiris. There we go. Isar being connected immediately with Asar. Fucking book is this? And Azar, Mars, which is where you get Ashar from in Sumerian. Connect a lot of this stuff through the etymology, which Ashar is 1 year on Nibiru, which we've like maybe interpreted as a dimension here on this show. So there's many ways to look at it as well. It's 3,600 years on Earth, basically. With Osiris, Mars, the god of spring, fire, and war, the name Israel was doubtless early connected with the story of Esau, Asu, spirit, who among the Phoenicians was Mars Uso. As Set was the devil in Egypt, the adversary, right, Typhon, Set. That this entire combination elaborated is brought about with the introduction of peculiar Hebrew and even genuine Phoenician views. We would as little deny as that it certainly cannot first be undertaken if the Jews were already a people so hated by their neighbors. In that case, certainly no one would have done them the honor of bringing their ancestors. Okay, so this, I don't know what this book is, but it's talking about the etymology of Israel, which I think, like I said, we're going to get into that on an episode. Abraham and Cronus, in reference to the sacrifice of the only begotten. Okay, so that's deep. That's still tripping me out, though, how that's on page 77. Hold on. Oh, so was that Saturn? He is depicted with having angel wings. I thought that was interesting. Fallen angel. Oh, whoa. Carthaginianism. Baal Heracles is son of Saturn. Well, Heracles is also interpreted as Gilgamesh. So the idea of the Babylonian father and son is by no means as late as many might suppose. The Lion of Mithra. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. Again, guys, do your own research. I'm not claiming, I'm right or wrong. Father of time, Saturn, the Jews were named. Okay, so this, we're talking about Saturn. I mean, we are going to end up talking about the Jews, the Babylonian Bell. See? Sick music, bro. Oh, it's talking about the worship in Babylon. Who then was the Lord of life? The living El Saturn. The ark started from Babylonia. Babylonia is the land of the Garden of Eden. The Euphrates below Babylon divides into 2 parts, the Pisanu and the Guchanu. the gooch Anu. The third is Tigris, which from just there onwards resumes its earlier independent position. The fourth is the Euphrates. Okay. You know, we should. That's interesting. I was going to say, let me find something. We got another Rumble rant. You got to bring it up. You got to drop everything. Subliminal messenger. Let me pull this up real fast. The blue guy, you're talking about that picture we looked at. Okay, let's pull this up. Thank you, Subliminal, for another $2 donation. You said, so is the blue guy's dick purple or light blue? And how do we know if he gets blue balls? I don't know. Does I mean, when you saw him, his dick, you really couldn't see his dick. You just saw the symbol, right? Like, did he have a dick? I don't know. I'm sure he did. I don't know. Well, I guess let's see. Let's see if that one picture portrayed him with a penis. Here, let's present this because I wasn't looking at it. So, okay, it's not pulled up anymore. I'll open it up and I will. No, so you can't see his penis in this one either. Did Saturn have a mussy? Was he androgynous? I don't know. Oh, man. Olivia. I don't know if I'm ruled by Saturn. I hope I'm not. If I'm a Leo, I don't know. I may be. So, all right, I'm going to pull this back up. Thank you, Subliminal Messenger, for the Rumble rant. I do have to get out of here soon, guys. So, go for about another 15 minutes. We're going to pull this video back up. I guess the music, well, let's see. I don't want to hear this guy talk, but I like the video. I liked what he was saying, some of it at least. Where'd that other video go? Hold on. Give me a second. Let's damn it. All right. Give me a second. I'm going to pull this video up. No, not that one. We're not watching that one. We're not watching this one either. Fuck. I thought I had saved a video. That's my bad. I hope I can find it. Hold on. Okay, this guy. See, a lot of these people that talk about Saturn, it's like they revere it in some way. So I don't know. I want just a Carl Jung in the black cube. That would be a little too deep. Here looks this looks like a nope, not you, faggot. Shut up. Y'all couldn't hear him, but I could. Let me present this. Okay.
Welcome to Stellify.
Well, this guy's voice is
Saturn,
okay.
the ringed giant, has
This
captivated
AI?
humanity for millennia. Its ethereal beauty, visible even to the naked eye, sparked wonder and curiosity in ancient civilizations. From those early observations emerged myths, rituals, and symbols that have endured through time. Among them The black cube stands out as a
Are you going to
particularly
bed?
intriguing and enigmatic emblem. Often associated with Saturn, the black cube continues to fascinate and provoke, its true meaning shrouded in mystery. This short video delves into the history and significance of Saturn and its symbolic representation, the black cube, exploring their enduring influence on human culture, belief systems, and the search for meaning in the cosmos. Long before the invention of the telescope, ancient astronomers recognized Saturn as a unique celestial wanderer. They observed its slow movement across the sky, its faint golden hue, and the mysterious appendages that later generations would identify as rings. These early observations fueled the imaginations of ancient cultures, giving rise to myths and deities associated with time, harvest, and the cyclical nature of life. With the advent of modern astronomy, our understanding of Saturn has expanded dramatically. We now know it is a gas giant, composed primarily of hydrogen and helium, with a complex system of rings made up of ice and rock.
Meat
We have been shown
Cavern's
space probes
doxing
like Voyager
himself,
and
guys.
Cassini,
So if you want to call Meat
which have
Cavern.
revealed stunning images of Saturn's swirling atmosphere,
Again,
its numerous moons, and the intricate details of its rings. However,
don't stop,
I
Jules.
must mention,
I gotta stop.
I
Meat
have my
Cavern.
doubts about anything that comes from
Getting
NASA
late.
as being
You're
legitimate.
too much farther on Saturn.
Despite these scientific advancements, Saturn continues to hold a place of wonder and fascination in the human psyche. Its ancient symbolism intertwined with our modern understanding of the cosmos. In Roman
We
mythology,
were gonna talk about
Saturn,
Cronus,
known as
but-
Cronus in Greek tradition, was the god of time, agriculture, and harvest. He was the son of Uranus, sky, and Gaia, earth, and the father of Jupiter, Zeus, Juno, Hera, Neptune, Poseidon, and Pluto, Hades. According to myth, Cronus overthrew his father Uranus, castrating him and seizing
Oh,
control
he
of the
did
cosmos.
castrate. Okay,
Fearing
so they
a
don't have
prophecy
dicks.
that he-
They don't have dicks. He castrated them. It's the same thing with the story of Anu, right? In Sumerian, he lost his penis. He had his penis bit off. Like, these dudes are eating children, right? They're eating dicks, basically. So why wouldn't they eat each other? I don't know. We're not going to get into that if they eat dicks or not. But, you know, he was castrated. Like, I guess he castrated him with his scythe. I don't know. I just, that immediately I thought about the story of Anu and the wrestling, the ancient wrestling matches that these entities supposedly had.
He too would be overthrown by his own offspring. Cronus swallowed each of his children as they were born. However, his wife Rhea saved their youngest son, Jupiter, by substituting him with a stone wrapped in swaddling clothes. Jupiter eventually overthrew Cronus, freeing his siblings and ushering in the reign of the Olympian gods. Despite his tyrannical actions, Cronus's reign was also remembered as a golden age.
Uranus
a
would
time
be
of peace,
directly related to
abundance,
Anu,
and
though.
harmony. This duality is reflected in Saturn's symbolism, which encompasses both the destructive and regenerative forces of time.
Tartarus as well, the deity Tartarus, because it's a place,
In modern
right?
astrology,
but it's also
Saturn
an
holds a
entity.
prominent position as a planet of karma, discipline, and responsibility. However, there are much darker suggestions to what has been noted in modern astrology. Observations have confirmed that there is a hexagonal storm on the north pole of Saturn. The hexagon related to the hexagram symbol forms a cube when the lines are connected. According to ancient and traditional astrological tradition, Saturn is sad, morose, and cold, and was also said to govern the melancholic humor. Saturnin, considered the greater malefic in almost all astrological and alchemical traditions, and is typically associated with the color black, death, constraints and limitations, space-time, and is often represented by the cube. The worship of Saturn dates back to ancient times, with evidence of dedicated temples and rituals found in various cultures. In ancient Rome, the festival of Saturnalia, celebrated during the winter solstice, honored Saturn with feasting, revelry, and a temporary suspension of social norms. Some scholars believe that elements of Saturn worship were absorbed into later religious traditions.
We talked about this
the development of
around Christmas. We watched a pretty fucking cool video, actually, about Santa Claus and the Christmas tree. Isn't Santa just an Nephilim, right? Or like one of these fucking giant hybrids or something. I don't know.
Holidays like Christmas and Hanukkah.
We'll do a
In more
Christmas show
recent
every
times,
Christmas.
Saturn has become the subject of speculation and darker theories. Some researchers associate Saturn with occult practices, secret societies, and a hidden force controlling the world. These claims highlight the enduring power of Saturn as a symbol of mystery, power, and the unknown.
Watch how olive oil saved his marriage.
Nice. Fucking
So
man.
I just turned 40 and I made a promise to my wife to be
Fuck your
healthier.
birthday.
So I said,
I don't give a fuck
spoonful
about
of
your
olive
birthday.
The black cube, in particular, has become a focal point for such theories. Its simple geometric form, open to a wide range of interpretations and projections. The black cube, a seemingly simple geometric shape, has taken on profound symbolic meaning across various cultures and belief systems. Its origins and interpretations are as
There's
diverse
Shawnee.
as the civilizations that
There's dude. There's homeboy. We learned about him.
have embraced it as a representation of the divine, the cosmos, or the fun.
Yeah, the next episode me and Adrian do on Thoth or Ningajita, it's going to be a fucking banger. We're going to talk about him in South America, and I also have a direct correlation to a Hindu deity for him as well that represents almost every single thing and is represented by the same symbolism. So it really makes you wonder when you start talking about avatar bodies and shit. Let's see.
Fundamental
I like this
forces
guy.
governing the universe.
He's covering a lot of
In
it.
some traditions, the black cube represents the earth or the material world, a symbol of solidity, stability, and the limitations of the physical realm. In others, it is associated with the concept
That's
of void
the
or
four
nothingness,
corners, the four
a
sides,
representation of the primordial state before creation. The black cube's association with Saturn likely stems from the planet's ancient connection to time, fate, and the cyclical nature of existence. Just as the cube's geometric perfection represents order and structure, Saturn's influence is often felt as a force that imposes limitations and demands discipline. The color black, often associated with the unknown, the void, or the unconscious, adds another layer of complexity to the black cube's symbolism. You might not know it, but the entire world has been worshipping Saturn for thousands of years.
Absolutely.
The cult has never stopped, and its rites are still present to this day. Saturn, dubbed the Lord of the Rings, is the reason why we exchange rings at weddings or put halos on the heads of godly people.
Yeah, dude.
Before the Great Flood, Saturn was regarded by all mankind as the supreme god and ruler of the kings. Occult researchers affirm that Saturn ruled the kingdom of Atlantis and became the divine ancestor of all earthly patriarchs and kings.
Ruled the kingdom of Atlantis?
The
I didn't know that.
cult is ingrained into nearly every aspect of our life. Yet the true significance of Saturn can be found within secret societies and in the deepest underpinnings of religion. Semitic civilizations referred to the god Saturn as El, who is the supreme deity and represented by a black cube. Let's look at some points here.
How much longer?
Saturn is the cult
It's
of
not that
El.
long of a video. Yeah, we got about
Kabbalah is
yeah,
the cube
we'll be
of
done
God.
right on time, guys.
Saturn is the Lord of the Rings. There is a hexagonal cube. on
Yeah,
North
there's the
Pole
ring
of
aspect to it as well.
and Saturn is Satan in astrotheology. As Father Time, Saturn keeps us locked into linear, sequential time. It seems we never have enough time to get everything done, but this is only a myth in the physical existence, because as divine souls, our lives are eternal. The ancient name of Saturn was, as mentioned, El. It is the reason why those that were chosen by El were called elites. In fact, the words elect, elder, elevated, Elohim, temple,
I can't go longer,
circle,
meat cavern. I gotta
gospel,
get off.
apostle, disciple, evangelist,
I'm gonna
etc.,
finish up on this.
all
though.
derive from the cult of El. The association of Saturn with organized religion can be traced back to the foundational principles and structures established by many spiritual traditions. The roots of numerous religions often lie in authentic divine connections or peak experiences that individuals seek to replicate. In the process of establishing
cover Jupiter,
organized
Nancy.
religion, devotees
Not
create
tonight, but-
structures, orders, dogmas, and doctrines to codify and replicate these sacred patterns.
You may think that an adult
this
that can't
guy.
stop watching the P word,
I
looks
just
something
need
like
well,
this, but
can't afford premium.
this is what they really look like.
I already have to pay for
This
fucking what X,
inclination to
StreamYard.
establish a fixed framework, a Saturnian influence, is prevalent in various religious systems. Religion, as a whole, operates under
Maybe
the
hopping on
influence of
Jose's
Saturn
StreamYard soon, so I don't
by
have to pay mine.
emphasizing
I'll
a
just have
separation
to
principle
pay him.
and creates division towards
Me, him, and
other
Austin will
types
share
of
one.
spiritual
It's a good
traditions,
idea.
even ones that are quite similar in essence. The Saturnian influence also manifests through fixation on external elements such as dogma and rituals, often devoid of the direct mystical connection to the divine. In some instances, the inner, more mystical pursuit, which was even the original impetus for why the religion was created in the first place, is ignored, denied, or even repressed and severely persecuted. The Latin root of the word religion means to bind or to tie. So when people use the term religion, they are referring to a set of beliefs, practices, and values that create a binding connection between individuals and their mental interpretation of the sacred or divine, which by its very limitations is not the divine. What results is often binding themselves to doctrines, dogmas, external rites and forms. Once this happens and no real connection exists, it becomes a form of Saturn worship. The most obvious and extremely Saturnian religions are the Abrahamic faiths, which refer to the fact that they initially started through
These
a blood
people really
sacrifice
go
ritual
against
to make a
the
covenant
Abrahamic
to
religions.
secure land and heirs. The question we must
3 or
ask,
4
is
people
this
that we've
simply
heard
just
talk
blood
about
magic?
Saturn.
Besides the aforementioned blood covenants, there are more rituals like circumcision. Another Saturnian
Even if you get into
blood
that,
ritual
though, it's
that
more.
originally had an
Nancy
inner
was saying, do a
symbolic
deep dive on
meaning.
Jupiter.
And the binding of the tefillin, which
Now,
are obvious examples
when you get
of
into
Saturnian
when you get into the
practices
J's,
and
it's a little
rites
different, guys.
continue to this day. The Old Testament, associated with Saturn, represents the constraints and limitations of the material world. Saturn corresponds to the metal led in alchemical symbolism. Yeshua's role was to bring a transformative influence, turning the leaden aspects of the Old Testament or transmuting the fallen aspects.
That's
of the
fucking.
Saturnian
That's
demiurge
yeah.
into the golden
My wife
spiritualized
basically. Hold on,
qualities
dude. My wife
represented by
basically
the
said
sun.
that
The New
his
Testament, characterized as
his
solar,
blood into the
embodies
earth
spiritual
was an alchemical
culmination and enlightenment
transformation
brought by the Christic
for
embodiment
humanity.
through Yeshua. The sun in alchemy symbolizes the divine or spiritual essence, representing the highest state of transformation.
We got a
through
couple
the very
minutes
creative
left.
forces of the divine.
This guy kind of
The
cooked
fire
on
of the
this.
spirit must be applied to the prima materia, the dense, lifeless, and dull lead of Saturn, in order to purify and transmute it. This transition from Saturn, or lead, to the sun, gold, is the alchemical path, where the individual undergoes a process of purification, shedding material constraints and purifying the astral waters, though an inner baptism attaining union with the Christ, the anointed, in the bridal chamber in order to house the divine within. The path of alchemy, in this context, becomes a metaphor
Missy shoveling
for the
snow.
spiritual journey
Thanks for
of
tuning in, Missy.
transcending the limitations of the material world and attaining a state of spiritual purity and enlightenment, symbolized by the sun, and elevating oneself to a higher, more refined state that is capable of embodying the divine. The cube represents the material world and space-time, capturing the structured and confined nature of earthly reality and representing the temple or a structure. When unfolded, the cube forms a cross, symbolizing the potential for transcending the material realm and
Subliminal, you
sacrificing
going on next?
matter to attain communion with the spiritual. The unfolding of the cube into a cross implies a transformative process where the constraints of material existence are sacrificed for a higher spiritual understanding, highlighting the
Y'all doing a
dynamic
faggot
interplay
tower? Oh,
between the
fuck yeah.
material and spiritual dimensions. The mystery of the cross is that the
Faggot
cube
Tower's
of Saturn
good. It's
is
original.
not
There may not
destroyed,
be
but fulfilled
enough people in the
as
Rumble
base
chat
structure
talking to do a
that
faggot
allows one
tower.
to open to greater ascent of consciousness. In the Gnostic tradition, the cross holds profound symbolism as an emblem representing the soul's journey and its triumph over lower forces to achieve union.
So all
with
these
the
guys are
divine.
Gnostics.
Serving as a
Interesting.
symbol of sacrifice and redemption, the cross signifies the willingness to relinquish lower
I don't really
aspects
align with those
of
beliefs,
spiritual
but I do
transformation,
find Gnosticism very
mirroring
intriguing,
the narrative of
and I
Christ's
will be
sacrifice.
diving into that on an episode. Like I said, guys,
So please let me know your thoughts on this research
on
into the
Greypilled,
Saturn
you know,
cube.
we dive into
Does any of this
some
resonate
stuff
with you?
that makes some people uncomfortable, but I don't know. I if you can maintain your relationship with Christ, if you have one, I find it brings you closer in a way. It also, you learn things. You learn what other people believe. You do find some truth, you know, in almost everything, I'd say. So, oh man, we were almost there. MAGA Revolt came in with a no. Well, we'll count it. And Meat Cavern had to fill in twice. Oh my God. Hi, MAGA Revolt. MAGA Revolt, where have you been this whole time? But yeah, guys, I actually learned some shit tonight. So that was fun. That was a good time. Well, I'm gonna get out of here in a second. Let's turn this back on, because you know I talk for about fucking 15 minutes before I get out of here. We're gonna turn the what's this? No, this, Meat Cavern starting to learn some of these big words. Subliminal, thank you for the donations, dude. I appreciate it, guys. If you're on Patreon, go check out the episode I just posted. Me and Chris from Forbidden Knowledge News. It's a fucking banger. He's going to come back on at some point. It's going to be awesome. Talked about psychedelic entities, the higher self, a bunch of cool shit. Synchromysticism. And got some stuff coming this next week. William Ramsey's going to be coming on the show. Having something either Thursday or Friday night. I gotta check on that and see what I'm doing there. Also, Already Dead on Tuesday. We're having William Ramsey. Yeah, he's coming on Tuesday as well. And let's see. Sunday Chaos next Sunday. Me and Connie. Yeah, it's next Sunday. So that's 9 o'clock. I think 9 o'clock Central. So guys, follow me, Greypilled Pod on X. I'm on Instagram. I don't post much, but you can go fucking follow me anyway. Greypilled _podcast. I'm on YouTube and Rumble and Spotify, as well as like Apple Podcasts, all that good shit. Yeah, Patreon. Like I said, y'all go over to Patreon. You can hang out with me there. Well, you can hang out with me. I was going to say, I put the fucking link to the Discord in there, and you come hang out with me on Discord. And not that interesting. It's always a good time over there. Yeah, guys, thank y'all for fucking coming and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I hadn't done a stream all week, so this was fun. I need to do more of these. You guys tune in this week. Y'all stay grey-pilled.
Kill me, boy.
Handsome faggot.
See,
welcome to the Grey-Pilled Podcast.
I'm slightly autistic. I mean, I'm fucking awkward, you know? I know I'm not like the brightest bulb in the shed. Marduk is the scapegoat, Azazel me, the scapegoat.
Wow.
Get the E from the beginning of his name and the L at the end. Put that together, and if you're Saturn deity right there, guys. Yeah. Everyone knows about the reptilians and their cavern systems underground that lead to Hollow Earth. And we can talk about that when
Jules knows.
Mr. Hall talks about the teachings of Paracelsus and his many views on the elementals, and I find that fascinating.
You're killing it, Jules, bro.
Red and black, and that's alchemical. In Freemasonry and in all esoteric history schools, the eagle is usually a representation of the original Phoenix. Just blew my own mind. Grey-pilleds dropping left and right, man.
3-6 Mafia is the sipping on the scissor, right? They were bringing the hydrocodone
on the hands-free phone.
On the hands-free phone, yeah.
It's the Greypilled Podcast, dropping jewels with Jews on the Greypilled Podcast. Time to school all these fools on the Greypilled Podcast.
Welcome to the Grey-Pilled Podcast.
Jules, you're the best. Thank you so much for coming on. You really classed up.
Yes, guys, go follow Greypilled Podcast. He's got a great show, by the way.
Great show, cool dude. Go check him out.
Shout out, Jules.
Trying to kill me, goy.
You handsome faggot.
Have they? Oh no. There's another timestamp.
Bye-bye. I'm peeking the producer. All right, guys, go check out Grey-Pilled Nephilim shit. That's what he's all about.
Then you have the second fall, that of Azazel and Semyaza, who you also see in the Sumerian stories as well. And Shamash being the sun god, Shamsiel teaching the signs of the sun.
If they're by us, they're the dangerous retards. If they're by you guys, it's the hard army. If they're by the Greypilled Podcast, he calls them the Grapists, which is incredible, honestly. An entire group of schizophrenics that we've
One of the daughters of Enoch was taken by a fallen angel, and that was one of the Babylonian bloodlines where Rothschild came from, the Red Shield or Ra Shield. You know what? I'm not even voting, but I hope Trump wins just so you faggots can cry for another 4 years. You know, this was here.
Faggot Nick.
It's the Greypilled Podcast, dropping jewels with Jews on the Greypilled Podcast. Time to school all these fools on the Greypilled Podcast.
Look, you're gonna have to move fast. Conspiracy cards from Paranoid American are here.
Conspiracy cards, flip it, what's the deal? Conspiracy cards with that paranoid seal. Pack it, unwrap the truth in these stacks. Flip one, flip two, get a few of these packs. Flip it up, what's next? Move fake, we flex. Bigfoot in the woods, stay lying, that's facts. MK Ultra, no cap. Every yacht 51 is a trap. Roswell crash, what's that? They hide the truth, where it's at. Conspiracy cards, flip it, what's the deal? Conspiracy cards with that paranoid seal. Pack it, unwrap the truth in these stacks. Flip one, flip two, get a few of these packs.
That's right. Conspiracy cards from Paranoid American. A set of over 200 cards featuring legendary conspiracy theorists, cult leaders, esoteric secrets, and more. For more details, visit conspiracycards.com today.